What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mac Diesel, the host with the most, the best, better than the rest, and we are here for another episode of the Bakery. Well, there is a lot going on recently, and there is stuff that we got to cover, and there's stuff we got to talk about. And yeah, I missed a week of posting, so we're gonna get it going this week, and we're gonna get it popping. We're gonna get it cracking already. I'm sorry for the delay, but you already know what I'm gonna say. Life be life, and that's okay. So let's get it popping. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it going. Boing. So today's topic is going to be about the wonderful purple app of Twitch. Then we'll also get into the studio sesh, and then we'll also get into movies and friends. But the main topic is about Twitch right now. And I just kind of want to talk about how I started, the likes and dislikes, and, everything else that comes with it. I feel as though, Twitch is a wonderful thing. I think it's a creative platform for people to just really express themselves in different ways that they don't feel comfortable doing around other people. And then it's also just a chance to just play the game like nobody's watching you. Even though there are a certain amount of people watching you, it's always fun when you don't have to think about any of that when you're just playing. Now, I will say for me, sometimes I did worry about who was watching me and what was going on. But we'll get into that. So, I kind of want to start off like how I started. I was a senior in college, 2020. So it was around COVID time. I take that back. It was around COVID time. COVID had just started, and it was lingering for a while, like almost maybe a whole year, really, realistically. And COVID still exists. Let's not act like it doesn't. But when it first started, it was just like a super contagious thing. And I didn't know much about it. I didn't really think too much of it, but I knew I had to stay safe. So I was one of those people who got the shot and this and that and whatever. But that's besides the point. So COVID happened, and I was working, but I was not working at the same time. And it was just a long period of time where I wasn't at school. But once I got back to school, I had, kind of dug into this rabbit hole of Twitch. And so the only reason why I started watching Twitch was because, a lot of our favorite creators like PG, Joe, Berlin, Corey Kenshin, if he was even streaming at that time, so many of those creators were just streaming all the time. And I specifically remember one day I was watching PG, and he was on RP with a guy named H. Gons. For everybody who doesn't know, H is one of my friends, lifelong friend, my brother. We've been friends for years, and I'll put his link down there in the description below, so y'all can go follow him and things like that. So yeah, I started watching him, and I was just kind of in tune with his energy, in tune with his gameplay, and I was just very curious. I was like, dang, man. I was like, I wonder if he'll play with me. I wonder, what it would be like to be friends with a streamer. And so I eventually went in his chat a couple times. We chopped it up, and then we started becoming friends. Well, along that road, I met somebody else. Her name is Candy. Super awesome, down-to-earth woman. Great. She was just as cool as a fan. She's from New York. You know what I'm saying? Word to my mother. That's what they be saying. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she was really cool. She's just super, super sweet, and she was just down to earth. And then from that point on, that's when I started meeting more and more, and everybody knows who they are. I could go on and on and on and name a list of people, but those people knew who they were. They know who they are, and I'm very in touch, or try to be in touch with a lot of them. I know a lot of them are doing their own thing and they're very busy, but those are some of the people that I know are dear to me at the end of the day. Just to kind of move forward, that's when I got the idea, okay, I want to stream. I want to know what it's like. I want to, make money. I want to be someone's inspiration. The list goes on and on and on. And I've always felt like that for a while. Like, I wanted to be an inspiration for somebody doing things that I love. And what better way to do that than playing video games and just being myself? I think being myself was probably one of the main focal points for me, just as far as when I started, only because I wanted to express myself in a way that other people might be attracted to, or like how I was in tune with H, I want them to be in tune with me as well. And I want to be able to bring people in and spread a positive message and so on and so forth. Just kind of like how I'm doing with my podcast. I'm spreading a positive message that allows people to think for themselves and decide what it is that they want to do with their life. So 2020, going into 2021, it was just a lot of streaming, a lot of going to school, a lot of streaming when I could. And I have to say, I truly, truly loved it for what it was. It was something, and it is something that I love to do to this day. I can't even remember the last time I actually did stream. It was probably maybe like a month ago. I can't remember. I haven't streamed consistently in so long, so it's been a while. But when I was going consistently, it was just like one of the most important things to me at the time, because I was making money on the side, I was doing what I loved, and I was impacting people in ways that I didn't think was ever possible. I've had people tell me like, oh man, like, I love your energy, like, you're such a great person, this, that, and the third. But I've never had somebody tell me that I'm sorry, I'm jumbling words. I inspired them to stream, or I inspired them to go to the gym, or I inspired them to go to school. It could be whatever, but just the fact that I was inspiring people made me feel good, and it let me know like, hey, you're doing the right thing. Let's see if we can keep this thing going. Let's see how big we can get. Not how big we can get, but let's see how many more people we can influence. And so, going to school and streaming at the same time, it was hard, but it was also a relief, because going to school all day, you don't get to sit in front of a game. You don't get to sit and talk to people. And in fact, I never really talked to anybody at school. I was very much to myself. A lot of people knew of other people, and they were already hanging out together. And I kind of tried to fit in, but it was never, I was always the awkward piece that didn't fit in that spot. So I would often do my own thing and stay to myself, which I kind of regret, but I don't regret, because it was just a lot of people that I couldn't really see myself having a long-term friendship with. So it was not only a learning lesson for me, but it was also God telling me like, hey, like, maybe these people aren't in your best interest. You should probably just go and do your own thing. So I kind of took that as a blessing in disguise, and just took it as a message like, hey, like, even though you're yourself and you don't fit in these crowds, it's not going to stop you from being who you are. So just do you, and things will happen on their own. And so once doing streaming happened so many times and I was on a consistent basis and a consistent level, I started building a following. After building a following, I started getting raids, and raids are, when people basically drop their chat off to you. And so you get more people to follow you, chat in your chat, just see how you are as a streamer and get to know you on a different level. And then from there, I started developing more friendships. I started developing, a brotherhood. I started developing brothers and sisters. And it was just a lovely spot for me, that early 2020 to 2021. I was just growing in my own way. I was learning more about me, and I was also, gaining a following and a fellowship with other people. And of course, with good, there always comes bad. But before I get into that, I think about from streaming on my Xbox with no camera to eventually getting a camera. Then I started streaming from my laptop. And then I got a capture card. Then I started, learning about PCs and how they work, and I was always against it. And then, of course, I learned that PCs are kind of better for streaming because you could do and have a lot more on your computer versus when you have a laptop like I do, like a MacBook. It's stable, but it's not as smooth as you'd expect it to be. So it's like, okay, how can I get it smooth? What can I do? Blah, 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 blah. And I just started ordering pieces and pieces and pieces. Little stuff to, make my stream fun for me. Not only for me, but for people that watch me. And then on top of that, just a lot of creativity. My whole design on my opening screen, and then my whole design on my layout and my welcome pages and my webcam. It's from Streamlabs, OBS. It's just a lot that goes with it. But I was in for it because I just loved it, and I loved the process, and I loved the learning of doing Twitch and just being able to have fun with it in my way, in my own way, and enjoying it for what it is. So that being the origin story, I have to say I'm still very grateful for it, and I love it to this day. Still wanting to grow, I'm still pushing towards trying to make a partner. I think once I hit partner, I'll be happy. I think I'll also feel accomplished. I'll also feel like I made the grind worth it in the end. So now that I got through how I started, let's talk about the likes and dislikes. With Twitch, I think there are a lot of clicks. I think there are a lot of, groups. I feel like there are a lot of attitudes and egos, and also not only with people, but also with the stuff that you have to be careful with, what you're watching on stream, what you see in your chat, people you interact with. There's just a mountain of things. And I was always one for protecting myself, not only myself, but my page. Anytime I got a bot, ban. Anytime I got somebody coming in my chat talking crap, okay, you can stay or you can leave. Pick your poison. Anytime I got, who else? There's always a negative, but there's also a positive. Like some positives are having 277 followers, which I currently am at. Trying to get to 500 by the end of this year, if possible, but God knows what he's doing, so I'm going to be patient. Building a fellowship, building a group. I have two friends, again, H, which I stated earlier, and then my other brother, Vaughn. We're the Arcade Kings. We developed that group as us just being in tune with each other and having kind of the same interests, and just building a bond that a lot of people didn't understand and a lot of people didn't really have. And I appreciate them very, very much because they were some of the people who motivated me a lot when I initially started and when I initially like first came about. And then another person or two more people I have to say were Brave, who I love her very much, and then Drew as well, and Candy. So those are some of the people I can say were just very like motivating towards me. You know, they had my back through a lot, especially when I was in school. They all knew I was in school, so it was a lot of motivation from them. Also, you know, it was also a lot of us playing the game together, Fortnite, Halo, and we had some rough battles with those. Let me tell you. But and those are just to name a few. I don't want to sit here and discredit anybody else who's been there from the beginning. You know, I know those were some of the people that were there when I first started. And I've also developed relationships after I was in the Twitch game for a while. But neither here nor there. But some likes I have are being able to be yourself and playing what you want to play. I think those two alone are very much the focal point with Twitch. Just in my opinion, you know, there's not a lot of people who can express themselves comfortably. And that to me sucks because we all have our own opinions. We all have our own, creative minds. We all have our own ways of being cool people. And a lot of times I feel like that gets unnoticed. I feel like a lot of times it gets knocked down by those that don't understand. And so we get treated a certain way and we think like, damn, like I'm not cool enough. I'm this, I'm that. But it's just kind of like, why care so much? You know, why not just go about your business and just do what you love to do? I could name so many things that I love to do that people probably don't even think I'm good at it. But I think I'm good at it, which is why I keep doing it. It's also a lot of like, to me, I was just seeing like a lot of people just switch up on their friends or like even just get so wrapped up in the limelight. And, once they just build this big following and have just millions of followers or start growing, and I feel like it gets to people's heads sometimes and they just lose track and lose sight of what's really important. That's kind of the downside of Twitch. People get too wrapped up in being famous and knowing famous streamers and just trying to be the cool guy instead of growing and learning and being somebody else's inspiration, being somebody's GOAT, being somebody's favorite streamer. Because you're not going to hear that. You're not going to hear somebody be like, oh yeah, like you're my favorite streamer. Like, and let's say you have like 300 followers or 400 followers and out of nowhere you just have somebody tell you like, oh, you're my favorite streamer. Like that's rewarding to me. But in my position, I'm not going to hear that. I don't stream all the time, so I don't have the opportunity to eventually hear that, at least right now. I'm still going to keep doing it regardless. I don't care because I like to do it because it makes me happy and it's fun. I'm not worried about a bunch of numbers. I'm not worried about who's watching me. I'm not worried about, oh, do I get gifted subs or am I going to get any gifted subs? Like, what I'm worried about is enjoying it for the fun. I don't care how long it takes me to reach partner. I don't care how long it takes me to reach 500 followers. The point is you have to grind for those types of things. You have to want to push for those type of things. When you get so wrapped up in wanting and trying to be this Mr. or Mrs. Popular, you lose sight of that stuff. And that's how people lose friends. That's how people switch up on each other. That's how arguments start. And that's how cliques start. And I can't say that's how cliques start all the time. Sometimes cliques start from positive things. But once you're in that certain group, you don't really talk to the same people anymore. And so I find that disappointing because I would never treat other people differently just because I'm at a different point in my life. I'm always love and treat everybody the same way. until they decide they don't want to, fool me anymore. At that point, it's like, okay, well, I know I need to back off. I need to do me. I need to lay off and allow them to feel their emotions until they're ready to speak to me, because I can't expect people to understand if I'm going at a different pace in life than them. And, I just so happen to blossom, or they just so happen to blossom. From my point of view, I'm going to always cheer you on. I'm going to always be there to support you. I'm going to retweet. I'm going to repost. I'm going to, do everything in my power to help you grow, because that's just what kind of person I am. I love to see people progress this type of establishment, because a lot of people don't get it like that. It's only a rare few that actually grow off of this type of thing. And sometimes it's even YouTube. I'm all about everybody eats. Everybody's got to eat. No man should go alone, without any type of support. No man should feel like they don't have the support. I feel like for me, sometimes I get like that, even when I stream, or even with this, like, I don't get the big views. I don't get the 230,000 views, or I don't get the 500 subscribers. But it's something that I'm willing to work for. It's something that I'm willing to be passionate about, because it's what I love. When it comes to Twitch, I just want people to realize, like, do not let this app destroy anything that you love, destroy any type of conscience you have. Do not let it corrupt your mind. Continue to be the person that you are, but also know that the grind it's a process, and you have to be willing to stay steady on that grind and still be prepared to have respect for others, as well as people having the same respect for you. And again, it doesn't matter about the numbers. It doesn't matter about the subs. It doesn't matter about the none of that. Twitch is a platform for people to have fun, for people to make money in a very responsible and safe way. And also, it's just a place to network and get to know all plethora of people. There's so many people in this world that do Twitch that you can learn from, you can be friends with, you can grow with. I'm forever grateful for the people I've met, even if I don't talk to the same people anymore. Like, I'm always praying for them. I'm always rooting for them in everything that they're doing, whether it be school or, you working a full-time job, but you're about to get promoted. Like, just seeing people progress in life, let alone this app, is just beautiful to me. I'm one dedicated person for myself, and I have to say I personally love Twitch. I think it's gonna be around for a while until something more relevant comes around, and people switch over to that. Hopefully I catch it before everybody else does. But Twitch is something that came in my life at the right time, and it's connecting me with the right people. And I have to say I'm forever grateful. It's taught me to keep grinding. Like I keep saying, it's taught me to love people for who they are, and most importantly, just being myself. And that's what it's all about. Just be yourself, and the rest will fall into place. Now that that's out the way, let's talk about our little studio sesh. Frickin'. Bro. So, and this really ain't even about music, but y'all boy got caught. He going to jail. He's going to jail for a very long time. I mean, some of the stuff that I was hearing about the freak offs, and then they found footage, and then this man had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Some were saying it was 30. Somebody said 22. And I don't particularly feel very good about 1,000 bottles of baby oil. A couple bottles, 30 bottles, Double digits is crazy. I'm sorry. That's not even double digits. 4 digits. 1000. I mean, we know why he needed it, but why do you need that much baby oil? It's insane. It's creepy and it's weird. I for one was appalled. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. You need to be in jail. You need to be under the jail. You need to be in the dirt under the jail in a basement, locked to a wall, because that is insane. And it's just like, you just think about everything that's going on, and it's just like, ooh, I was like, it's just like, what was happening? Why was it happening? And who told them it was a good idea to let it happen? What, and yeah, that's really all I got to say about it. I don't know. I just don't know. It's a crazy world we live in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in other news, I think I can't even. We're just gonna move on. We're gonna go to the next subject. Oh God. Okay. Now that we got that freaky stuff out the way, let's talk about these movies and friends. I recently finished Breaking Bad, and I gotta tell you something. That show, chef's kiss, bro. From the beginning to the middle to the end, everything made sense. The way he finished off the season made perfect sense. I had a feeling that once he got caught, that his brother-in-law was gonna die. Made so much sense. It was just like next after next after next after next, and that's how I felt about Shameless when I was watching that. But Breaking Bad, bro, 10 out of 10 recommend. 10 out of 10 recommend. Wow, one of the greatest shows ever put together. They got my respect. I loved it. Next show I'm about to watch is The Bear. Heard good things about that. I know they're already 3 seasons deep, so I got some catching up to do. And then we'll see what show happens to come out after that. I don't know just yet, but we'll figure it out. And then a movie. Okay, so I told you I was going to be watching old movies. I have not gotten there yet. But the first old movie I'm going to watch is Halloween. Haven't seen the original. I'd love to watch it. I think it'll be good. I've seen all the updated Halloweens from like the 2010s and on. So I don't really know a lot of the backstory. I think I may have watched it before, but I don't remember. But I'll figure it out as I go along. And then after I watch this movie, I'll figure out the next movie to watch, and then, we'll just keep that as a trend and we'll keep it going. But with that being said, that's all I have for y'all today. I appreciate y'all and love y'all coming through every week. Even when I don't post, you guys go and watch the old episodes, and I love that. I appreciate that very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and put that bell on so you know when I'm posting. I was going to say something else, and I cannot remember for the life of me. Oh, I'm going to try to post more so y'all know, to go look at the YouTube video, because I don't really promote it as much as I should, but I will. Also, don't forget to get your merch. You know what I'm saying? I have others, but I'd rather you see it on the website because it's just so much better. And I'll even post a little clip so y'all can see what's in there. And, we'll just go from there. With that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, we rolling. We doing our thing. Hey, bad little shawty, she looking for me, but I gotta keep a low profile, can't get exposed. Letting these niggas know all my moves.